Click Stuff is brought to you by Lucky Dice Cafe out of Huntsville, Alabama. Check them out at luckydicecafe.com.
Welcome to Click Stuff.
Hey everybody, welcome to Click Stuff today. This is your host Daniel Powell speaking. Just want to let everyone know, Click Stuff is brought to you by TrollandToad.com. Find HeroClix new and old at TrollandToad.com, the world's largest HeroClix retailer. Save 5% off your order of HeroClix when you use coupon code ClickStuff at checkout. Merchant and pre-order items do not apply. Shop TrollandToad.com for all of your HeroClix needs. And, of course, coming up this month is Black Friday. TrollandToad.com's Black Friday sale starts Friday, November 29th at midnight Eastern, and we'll have tons of great deals on HeroClix items, so check them out Black Friday weekend for great deals on HeroClix. And also, if you enjoy what ClickStuff does for y'all, bringing the podcast and the YouTube channel, check us out on patreon.com/ClickStuff. And consider giving us a support. $1 and above gets you entered into our monthly giveaways. $5 and above gets you entered into our Discord channel and exclusive HeroClix training classes. So joining me today is Tylor Onslaught Spees.
Hey, everybody.
And no Jason this week, but we do have Jay, that's his actual name, Solomon, joining us.
Not wrong.
So how's everyone doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. I just ate pasta. It was good.
So I was thinking about what we're going to be talking about tonight, and we've got a lot of states questions.
That makes sense.
Like a ton of states questions. So, I don't know. Jay, you wanted to talk a little bit about ROC CUP, so we'll start with that. What in particular did you want to talk about ROC CUP?
I guess the interesting new formats would be good to discuss, because maybe people don't actually know what the formats were this year, but I think they all went pretty well.
Yeah, so
I guess I can quickly sum them up. We had We ran there was some Pauper. There was it Thursday night we did the Critical Clicks tournament, which was you bought like basically a bunch of uncarded boosters and then some War of Light, and then it was like a team event. That was fun. I actually got to play in that one. We had Utter Garbage. Our War of Light booster was like, our boosters came down to like Kyle Rayner, White Lantern, basically, which was what I used. And then I think we had the worst pulls there. It was pretty hilarious. I played with Howard and Sean. So it was interesting to see the mixture pre-carded and carded figures together. I don't know if there were any interesting interactions, but that was cool. And then we had the WWE event.
I'll talk about Thursday too.
Oh, you want?
Yeah, we can talk about each event a little bit that we played in.
Okay, I didn't know if you cared about that one.
Yeah, I did. It was fun. So I got to play with the two guys from Arizona, Justin Harrington and Nate Yabenez. So I don't think we got two great pulls either. Like I ended up with Blue Lantern Recruit and the Lamp Joker.
I remember that Joker.
So I didn't want to disappoint the guys from Arizona, so I went 3-0 in the tournament, including a quick game against Mr. J.
Yeah, that was definitely a game that happened.
Yeah. And then I think the other guys went 1-2 or maybe 0-3. So we didn't do too great as a whole team, but I enjoyed the figures that I played. But that was fun. It was different. I took down a full point Ophidian.
Wow.
So
I didn't even know there was an Ophidian. I just saw the Parallax.
Oh, you know what? Never mind. It was a Parallax. It was a Sinestro Core theme team as well. He rolled running shot breakaway, and rolled a 1 back to back. So that I mean, I got a little bit of luck in that one because he was just going to run, but BLR kept him in his place. That's Blue Lantern Recruit.
Dude, I love that piece. You're making me like nostalgic for the set.
Yeah, it was fun. So then what? Friday we had the WWE event.
Yeah, that was. I can't remember the exact weird scenario bits of it, but like you had, it was a two versus two on that new ROC Battle Royale map with the ropes that were treated as ropes. You each brought 200 points of WWE only, and then you had a champion, and he could like tap out. I think.
You had to roll a d20 and 8 or above. You tapped in, but you had to bring in your teammates champion.
Yeah, something like complicated. That was next. It should have been AKA should have been Highlander event because oof. Well, you guys especially. That was.
Yeah, Alex and I, we went 2-1 or 3-1 in the event, but still missed the top cut of 2. We only lost a roll off. So we played 6 Eddie Guerreros, which sounds broken, but none of the rolls worked for us. Like, math was against us. Like, math was like, screw you guys. Everybody's going to roll exactly what they need to hit your eddies. I mean, you would think with 4 probability controls, we would just make everybody miss all the time, and that was just not the case. 4 probs
that you can pick 1 die for also.
Right, yeah.
But they were always like a 5 and a 1, and then we'd make them re-roll the 1, and then you roll another 5, and it was tough. If we didn't have like the 3 amigos, like Flurry, I don't think we would have done as well as we did.
But you did. Eddie's good.
But we did, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, it was good to get those figures out the 2 days after they came out, and then just really experience them in their own world.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then Saturday, Jay?
That was team constructed Highlander Modern. So basically, Highlander for everybody. Like, you made 300 point Modern normal teams, just that it was Highlander across everybody on the teams. That was definitely more interesting format because, like, you can play like a stock build, but then you have to consider, do I take the Cyclops and Wolverine call-ins, or does one person play one-man army Unimind and then free up resources for other people? It was very interesting, I think. I think if that was to be adapted as an official format, I would like it a lot. I would never get to play it, but I would still like the idea of it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I was a particular fan of it. I mean, it was fine. I mean, we did okay. What, we got like 5th or 6th, I think, Tyler?
I think we were 6th.
Yeah. But there was only 10 teams. I think you would need a much larger field to like really get a good sense of it.
Yeah, because we had 10 teams, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was also some interesting stuff that happened that was like, actually, I guess I don't know if it would be more likely, like the fact that Matt Esbrook playing One Man Army Unimind missed all the Kobiks was just incredibly lucky. But if it was a bigger field, I don't know if that would be more or less likely. But like anomalous things like that, like certain matchups were very weird, I'll say.
Yeah, I mean, it just comes down to there being 10 teams, like the math gets really weird and the pair-ups get really weird for like 4 rounds. So, I would much prefer a larger field to kind of get to be able to truly say what the format could do. Like, you need like 50 teams.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you always want more teams in an event.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even if but 300 Modern's a little bit different, right? Because there's so many of those events that happen.
Right.
Like,
it doesn't feel like there are anymore, though.
Well, I mean, there hasn't been since Worlds, but over the summer, and stuff, you get a bunch of stuff that's going to determine kind of what the field looks like. But, you don't get a bunch of 3 versus 3 Extreme Highlander events.
Yeah, it's just more like an open meta type thing.
Right. So, I think I was okay with our performance. We should have done Mojo and Cap Venom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was not okay with my performance. I played bad. I just did. I was like 1 in 3, 1 in 4.
I think we did 4 rounds, so 1 in 3. Yeah.
Which is not stellar, but I beat Easton and Jalen technically. So.
What do you mean technically?
They got 7th and we got 6th, so I beat them.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, we placed higher. I beat them.
Or did
makes
we do
perfect
5
sense.
rounds? Did we do 5 rounds? Because round 1 we played the guys from Texas.
It was 4 rounds to cut the top 4.
Yeah, 4 and 4. Yeah, because we played the guys from Texas round 1, and then round 2. I played the monster build.
I can't even remember, dude.
You played Jason Coombe, probably the really big guy, really tall guy.
Jason Keane,
yeah. I remember that.
And then it was funny because he was playing monsters, and it was Rob. His name was Rob, and I go into it and I'm like, huh. What's the one team that I have practiced against?
Probably more than anyone.
More than anyone on this planet, probably. And
you're welcome.
I'll just say that. And in fairness to Rob, he did a good job playing it. It was just he was no whale man. Then what was it? Round 3, we went against the guys from North Dakota.
Man, you have a better memory than me.
Yeah, because that was when you played against the Mojo Cap Venom of Calders.
Oh, yeah.
And then I played against Black Adam, and then Alex played the Stealth Sentinel.
Man, I'm just remembering how poorly I played in this tournament.
Yeah, most of my games were done pretty quick. The Black Adam game came down to a full health Uni versus Black Adam. And then he went Flurry Steel Energy on Black Adam and hit Uni twice.
Oh, wow.
And knocked him onto Running Shot Pulse Wave.
Oh.
And I was like, well, let me just go to 13 attack, 5 damage, and solo target Pulse Wave your Black Adam.
Oh, man, Uni is still disgusting.
And then round 4, we had played against the guys from Arizona and Hobbit from Colorado.
Yep, I do remember that.
Yeah, because he played Vulture, and then he came over and killed my Dark Phoenix. And then I sensed out of his attack with Uni and obliterated his Vulture the next turn.
That was the first game I won that day.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Yeah. It's not my finest day.
It's fine. We had fun. That was all that mattered.
Yeah, I did. It was fun. It was different.
And then we decided that wasn't enough for us. So that night we played. So I guess I should say so you had played Whale with Onslaught. And then I played, basically, I got to play Uni 5.0, but I guess I played like Uni 5.1. So I was playing Blue Phoenix with the Dune Buggy, or Spider-Mobile, and I didn't think that there would be a lot of Kobik Zero Rings in the math. So I was like, I need to play a Dark Phoenix, but I didn't bring one.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, well, let me go up here and buy a booster, and then I'll pull a Dark Phoenix. No, I was just going to buy one booster for Dark Phoenix. But then when I was walking towards the shelf of boosters, my eyes tunnel visioned on 2 boosters. So then I bought the 2 boosters. The first booster was a Wendigo, and then the second booster was a Dark Phoenix.
Ugh, that makes me sick.
So I'm up to 16 Wendigos at the moment.
God, it's I mean, it's good. Wendigos, you should have 16 if you can.
I don't think I'll ever play 16, but I like them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So poor Jay. Jay, you did get to play that night.
Was that the one where you beat me? Or that was the second time you beat me that weekend.
Yes. I didn't keep count or anything. So we had a full 300 modern qualifier.
Yeah, it was just the qualifier. Yeah, I ended up basically I didn't bring anything with me outside of what people asked me to borrow, so I ended up having to make do with what I could scrounge from Adam's factory sets and stuff that Adam otherwise happened to have. Basically,
Adam has clicks.
What?
Adam has clicks? I didn't know that.
There's this thing where if you're good at hero clicks, they give you hero clicks, apparently.
Ah.
Yeah, he had, like, the factory sets of X-Men from Worlds.
He just with him? He just brought them?
He wanted to sell
them to Howard.
Okay. He's one of those people that sells hero clicks because he doesn't want to keep them. But yeah, he had, like, his factory set of Panther from World. How do you have so many factory sets? I don't even know.
Well, he won Team Worlds.
Right, he won Team Worlds, so I guess I got him 2 factory sets.
Yeah, that got him Panther and X-Men.
Right, cause it was I think because if you make top 2, you would have gotten Panther, and then I guess winning got him X-Men. But either way, like I played Isaac's team essentially minus Astronomer, added a second Gardener, and I think 2 Floras. Just because I didn't know, I don't know.
Yes.
It just seemed like the most fun, and it wasn't stock Kobik. And then, of course, my first round was against Full Point Unimind being played by Matt Esbrook, so I just immediately cursed myself for not playing Kobik Trader to just auto-win that. And then I did what I could, but I don't know. Sometimes you just don't have enough time in the game that you want. I hit him. Basically, I mean, I don't know if I misplayed. I guess I kind of misplayed. Like, it's Full Point Uni. He already has a sidestep, can pick running shot, has 10 range already, 3 perplexes. Like, the math was if I moved up at all, I just got shot. So, what can you do? But I ended up having he was on last click for a bit, and then he healed up 1. One time was the action I had on last action brought him to his last click. I can't remember how many tokens it was, but considering I really have not been playing much in general, I thought he did okay. And then I played against, I can't remember the guy's name. I can't remember his name, but he was playing basically Ultra Thanos Vulture.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I ended up winning. Well, apparently it turned out that with what they were cutting to, with a 0-point loss, I think I had to literally wipe all 3 games in order to make it in. Because Dan, because you were the one that didn't make it. So little did I know I was essentially doomed for that point. So I didn't end up going too aggro because I thought all 3-in-1s would make it. So I was just like, okay, I'll take enough points to win. That's basically what happened. And then I played against Dan, and then I lost because that's what happens. I mean, you were playing Unimind, and I was playing a team I had no idea what to do with because I basically only had like.
I mean, I think you did fine, but I didn't like. Yeah, didn't. Well, no, you went after Uni instead of Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, I never played against Dark Phoenix either, so I guess I underestimated.
Oh, she's good.
Sanity she can pull off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
like
haven't constructed since.
Gen Con, right?
Opens, so.
No, you played at Gen Con a little bit.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. I did play Gen Con, but like, I don't know. Everybody knows how little I play, so.
Yeah, you do the stuff with the judging though.
Yeah, like if there's ever like a big event, I'm usually judging, so.
Yeah. So yeah, I ended up you went after Uni, which allowed Dark Phoenix to retail. So I ended up dealing 2 penetrating to your 3 little guys, and then I sidestepped back out of the ring and energy exploded your.
God.
I also like randomly had Walking Woods next to stuff that they shouldn't have been next to.
Yeah,
it was a combination of I don't have much practice in general. You are the best person with that team, and I misplayed on top of that. So.
Yeah, it was fine. It was all good. It was fun. We had a fun game.
What was it? It was my one Gardener and Trelane, and you had Uni damaged.
Yeah, you had had me off of stop click. You had me on stop, and then I healed up off stop click. You did have a chance to bust, but I imperved out of it.
That sounds right. Yeah, I was having turns where I was attacking with the free and the regular attack. It was fine. And then you killed. I was down to literally just Trelane with no ID cards on the other side of the map. I just because there was no point. So.
Yeah, but it was a fun game. I didn't even know you had the Walking Woods next to the Flora. So when you were like, "Oh, you killed 4 things," I was like, "Oh my god, Dark Phoenix is healing 4 times."
Yeah. And then I played against Nate with basically the same team as you. But I guess I knew what to do better. Like, I did switch some stuff out. Like, against you, because you had the Venom symbiote, I managed to get rid of it with a Cyclops call-in. But Nate was playing Remaker instead, so I needed to assign the Reality Gem instead of the Space Gem to Trader to then have just enough Perplex and whatever, or have enough swing to blow up the ring with Dark Phoenix, or not Dark Phoenix, with Rachel Phoenix and whatever. I think he played it a little more passive than he needed to, considering I was like up. Like I did that, so I was up 5-3, and then he just didn't. Did he take any other points? I can't even remember. I'm sure I used call-ins, but I don't think anything main force died. I think he just didn't have some. I don't remember him having good dice.
Mm-hmm.
And then I ended up. It didn't end up mattering because I would have literally needed to have wiped that second game and then had different matchups entirely.
Yeah, that's pretty much what ended up to me. I played against Nate that first round and then ended up with like a 50 to like 45 point win.
Oh wow!
And then I played Adam with full uni and couldn't roll 7, so I didn't bust his uni. And then I did bust his uni, but it was on last action. So literally, if I'd had like 20 more seconds, I was going to call out Storm and Pulse Wave and Eternal, or like all of the Eternals, hopefully. And because I was just going to Pulse Wave my entire team, like I wasn't going to be busted, and Lockjaw wasn't going to die. I was going to running shot Pulse Wave everybody and just see what happens.
You just reminded me of our game was totally worth it for me because I managed to Wonder Woman lasso your Lockjaw to death on click 6.
Yeah, I spaced on that one.
That was totally worth.
I love that Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
So yeah, I ended up going 3-1 and missing the cut by like 200 points because Jay Major scored more points than me, so which was fine. Tyler, you got to play Wales. What did you think?
Oh, I love that team, dude. Oh my god. This was my favorite event of the weekend because it was normal and I got to play my team. But yeah, that mode. What did Jason call it? Wendigo, like Wendigo's a mojo. Yeah, that team is very, very, very strong.
I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast. Just give it a rundown of what it is.
It's 2 whales. So 2 whales, 3 Wendigos for 5. And then Mojo, and then the 3 Retals, Groot, Carnage, Surtur. So it's plus 9.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I don't know. I think it might be better than the Mini Shredder. It's just so many attacks, so many threats they have to deal with right away. It feels so good to play. It's really strong. And I was undefeated. Going into the final, I was 3-0, and then final round I ran into Adam Friedman, who was playing full uni, and I had not practiced against full uni with this team, nor had I teched anything in. And it wasn't. I mean, I have a chance to beat him, but it's not a great chance. I just have to rush him and then hope I roll high on the first attack. I have 1 outwit that I have to use, and then I go, and I didn't do it, and then obviously still made cut because I was the top table and I lost, but I still made cut, and that placed me in 4th seed. So I got to play Adam Friedman again, the same team, and pretty much the same result. Ran at him, didn't hit the attacks I needed to, which to be fair, I'm not likely to hit.
Yeah. Well, now I think the team itself is better overall against like the entire field than Mini Shredder was, but I think it has a considerably worse uni matchup.
I probably agree with that.
Maybe like the word considerably is not a problem, maybe not a big deal.
Yeah.
But like the thing is that he gets to roll his impervious on the pop.
Right, which is a huge deal.
Right? And then so you're just not getting past those stop clicks by existing.
Yeah. The only I mean Uni is a character that I feel like full Uni is something that can be teched against with the last like 20 points of your build, IDs and stuff. To help manage that quite a bit, and I did not have any of that because I wasn't expecting full Uni.
Right, and then in a larger field, you're also going to have more Kobik Trader.
Yeah, that's true, because he just auto loses to Kobik Trader.
Yeah.
And he just, I guess, dodged it.
There was no Kobik Traders in that qualifier.
There was no Kobik Trader. Okay.
There was almost one if that was basically what I was going to play if I felt like having fun. So
yeah.
That's my fault. Sorry.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I still like the team, and I think it can beat Uni if I tech in stuff. I just don't know if it's worth it for me to do.
Yeah. I mean, so I think the thing is that 300 Modern's done until February.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens whenever Captain America comes out.
Yeah. There's I think
there's only the OP sets, OP kits coming out, monthly OP kits.
Yeah. There's like a couple.
Yeah, there's some monthlies, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, so I mean, I think like if there was a 300 Modern event between now and February, the meta's pretty set.
I think Lexington has a regional in January, but.
Oh well. I mean, then it's pretty much set like Monsters, Uni, Kobik Trader.
All the unpainted X-Men, and we only know like a third of those dials. Those could be.
Oh, really? I thought they were duplicate dials.
No, they actually already previewed some at Worlds. They're all different.
Oh yeah, I remember there was a really good Wolverine in there. I remember that.
Yeah, so most of those are call-ins, which could like affect the environment. Like there's a new Emma Frost, and we already have like the new Good Chase. I don't know.
Yeah, and I guess like Blackbird's a thing now again. I saw where it won Australia Nationals.
I think there's
yeah, it did.
I like Cable. I think Cable makes the team a lot better. Cable's really good.
Oh yeah, I saw that team in action at the Highlander thing event. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, but at the Highlander, were they letting him bring in the things on that?
You mean by they? If by they you mean Jay, yeah.
Yeah.
I basically,
Okay.
I don't know. I went over how the interactions work, and I got some second opinions, and
yeah,
I basically decided, and then people agreed with me. So I was like,
yeah, there's different ways to do it. I mean, no way's right. There's also arbitrary once you do that.
I mean, yeah, like if you ask me, like that should be allowed Pauper with Highlander, but they want to do something else, so whatever.
Yeah, it's just But yeah, I do think Cable's really good.
Yeah.
For that team.
Yeah. So, but I mean, we've got other things to focus on now. I think the last thing on Modern. So we've talked a little bit about Modern. I think so. Let's just wrap up ROC CUP, and then I want to talk about one more thing on Modern. After that, so Sunday was 302 booster X-Men. Now this was the first major event that we were able to mulligan.
Yeah, I like mulligans. I just do.
I enjoyed my mulligan because I did not want to play full Nimrod again.
I enjoyed my mulligan because I wanted to play full Nimrod. I mulligan into full Nimrod, and I enjoyed playing him.
So we both got top 16. The craziest thing I saw was somebody mulliganed their booster with a Stealth Sentinel in it.
Stealth Sentinel's really good. That seems wrong.
Yeah.
Stealth Sentinel's so annoying.
The straight up nuttiest thing was Calder's team, like by far.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. So Calder, somehow he has his starting force is Cassandra Nova, dude who makes Sentinel, Bastion Colossal, who has leadership that makes Sentinels automatically. He had Bulver Trask, I think.
Yep.
Who can leadership make Frenzy Humanity, and he managed to pull the Sentinel, the Frenzy Humanity, and then the Guard Command for Cassandra Nova.
Yeah,
and that's
three things that they generate. Yeah.
It was insanity.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, but now he ended up getting top 8 maybe?
No, he lost in top 4 to Adam.
Oh, top
4. Oh, okay.
Nice.
Well, if it was after Tylor, I think so.
Yeah, it was.
Whatever. Yeah, because you played after the cut, like immediately after the cut, and then that was a game after that. It was top 8, right? So
yeah, top 8 then.
Yeah, so he lost in top 4 to Adam's onslaught.
No, we cut to top 16.
Oh, it could have been. I don't know, but you were after the cut, so it was after the first round of cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can confirm that is a possible combination of things to pull in 2 boosters.
Did you do the math on it?
No, I've specifically pulled those boosters.
Oh, okay.
Like, so the Cassandra Nova comes with the big Sentinel. And then the rare Bastion comes with the rare Bastion. The big Bastion comes with the other guy.
Oh, Bolivar.
Yes, something like that. Well, Bolivar's just an uncommon, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, but so Cassandra comes with either Big Bastion or the G002 Sentinel. So what I ended up playing was 175 Mojo. So my first 2 boosters, I had full Nimrod and the Sentinel Squad 1 and a Prime Morph.
Nice.
Oh god, it was obviously the play would have probably been to play 275 Nimrod. But I played that at Team Worlds, and I just refused to. I did not have a good time, and I could have had a better time, but I could have also had the same time, and I was not down to have the same time.
It's fair.
So, even if I had just pulled, if I had pulled 2 25-point Sentinels in my mulligan, I would have been fine because I was just not doing the Nimrod experience again. Mm-hmm. So I ended up pulling Mojo. Oh no, it was Krakoa. Krakoa, Primorph, and Nimrod. So it was utter garbage. So my mulligan was Nimrod and Rare Bastion, the little one, and then I pulled a G002 Sentinel. So the little Nimrod, the little Bastion can also generate the Sentinels.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So I had a lot of fun with those two guys. Now that was fun. I went 3-4-1 in Swiss. With that, I lost to the only team I played with Pogs. I lost to.
Pogs.
So he's got a trait that's called Prime Sentinel Sleeper Agents. Once per turn.
The Onslaught.
No. The red Onslaught that J Major played, the big Onslaught.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, once per turn, when an opposing bystander is KO'd, you may roll a d6, 4 through 6, generate the same bystander. I generated like 4 of the, red Onslaughts, the soldier guys.
No, they're just Sentinels.
Yeah, and they had +1 stats. And because, they were dying, he was killing them. Like, he crit missed with one. And I was like, hold on, once per turn, I'm going to try to generate a Sentinel.
Man, that's fun.
It was fun, but it did not help me because that was my first loss of the day.
Yeah, apparently that thing's good.
Yeah.
He did really good with that, yeah.
Jay rocked that thing out all day.
I was talking crap about it. I stand corrected.
Yeah. Tyler, what was your 2 boosters and what did you mulligan for?
First 2 boosters were, I think, not an Orange Proteus. It was Sasquatch for the big guy, and then the other big guy was some trash. It might have been a regular Sentinel. Oh no, it wasn't. It was Onslaught. but I mulliganed it because there was nothing else good in the boosters, like at all. There was nothing. There was nothing to give like the Mastermind. It was just bad. So I'm mulliganed and I'm getting a Nimrod and a Friends of Humanity, and just played that and had a great time. It was real fun.
I'm really upset with you.
It's fun because I don't have to think about it. I don't have move and attack. I don't have really anything. I just move up and they yell, everybody hit me first. I'm not stopping that from happening. They're gonna hit me first, and I'm just like okay with that, and then see what happens. Like just rolling dice. So I liked it. It was relaxing.
Oh gosh, it was so stressful to me.
Yeah. I did a real fun and real close game against Easton, where I actually did have to think. But it was super close, but it was fun. Like at one point I got his Onslaught to the last click. And he was 2 tokens, so he couldn't push him to death. So I Colossal pushed to move next to him. So I was going to pick Poison next turn. Right? So there's nothing that he could do except for he could try the free mind control, but that might kill himself. But then what he did was he ended up making a freaking Scanner Pog. Scanner Pog is the bane of my existence. I swear to God. Like, that thing hit me more than anything else in the entire
So you made a Scanner Pog and mind controlled you away?
Yeah, he made a Scanner Pog, perplexed up his attack twice, and then mind controlled me to move away. And then I was still in range of Pulse Wave, and I missed the Pulse Wave. It was close. But yeah, it was fun. I liked it.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was a good team. I got top 8 or top 16 or whatever.
Yeah, we got top 16. We both did. So the last thing on Modern that I want to talk about, and I'm just pulling up the win here. So this is a ruling thing that I just want everyone to be aware of. And it's one of those things, it may not matter because there's not much 300 Modern until next year. But it's it's an unintended effect of the Tri-Sentinel ruling.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just pulling that up. This. Yeah. And this is one of those things like Jay might be able to explain it, but I don't really want to go into a big explanation on here. If you have any questions, just ask us in our Facebook group.
I can explain it pretty quickly.
No, I can. So the question is actually under Black Panther. The Star Wars, Secret Wars Battle World Chase Black Panther 061. Could Tricentennial choose Black Panther for colossal retaliation, then place himself such that other opposing characters will be caught in the area of Pulse Wave? No, since Black Panther can't be targeted by Pulse Wave, there is nowhere that Tricentennial can be placed that would allow it to target Black Panther. If Tricentennial were to choose Black Panther, it would remain in its square, and the effect would resolve without placement and without Pulse Wave activating. Note the effect of destroying blocking within 3 squares would still resolve. Now, there's also, now to combine that with the ruling of TK, was it the TK ruling or was it the object destroying ruling?
Well, it's just a general rule that applied to the TK rule. You can always activate.
Well, no, I mean, it was the... No. So it was the object attack ruling that I would say that cemented this one.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, and it says, can I choose to activate an object action without a target just so I can KO the held object? And then the answer is yes. Note that in both examples, the character is not considered to have attacked, so any effects that trigger off of a character making an attack would not trigger. So, like, those two things cemented this together. Now, it was kind of one of those things that was in the ether of...
And then Adam Friedman happened?
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, so, like, Aaron Morgan asked the question about the object attacks. So, the thing is, so the two things together means that you can activate Retail and then do the after...
You can activate Retail without a target.
You can activate Retail without a target because you can just activate things to activate them. And then now that's largely irrelevant for most Retails.
Yeah.
But there are Retails that have after resolutions effects. Tyler, would you like to list them?
They are, I think there's 4 of them. There's Mangog, there is Surtur, there is Tri-Sentinel, there is Iceman, the new Iceman, and then there's a sort of really weird fringe case with Carnage. And that's it.
Yes. So we can run down the list real quick, right? So just Tri-Sentinel is on the Black Panther. He can blow up blocking, which means he can also do his ping damage for free. So it kind of gives him like a running shot situation.
He can move up and then do pen. If there's blocking terrain, he can use it to deal pen damage.
Yes. Surtur has his after resolutions deal 1 pen damage within 2. So which means he can be carried up by Onslaught, placed, and then activate Retail, and then deal 2 pen damage, or 1 pen damage, 2 squares.
Or just move up and do it either way.
Yeah. I like when he gets packed by Onslaught. I just picture Onslaught carrying the big red guy. Because Onslaught flies. And then Mangog gets to make his second attack?
Yeah, not the first one, but the second one.
Yes. And then the Iceman gets to do his end cap.
Yep.
And then, so the interesting effect with Carnage is that, I'm just making sure I have all these right in my head from the weekend, too.
If you can I can run Carnage or I can explain how the Carnage one works.
Sure, go for it.
Or I can't remember if that one was confirmed to work, but it's like the same principle. With Carnage, you have to pick a character. So you choose a target, or that the idea is that you choose a target that you cannot physically place such that you can attack them, like let's say Hedge Maze or an Underground or one of those.
Yeah, so the other ones you don't have to have a target. Carnage, you would have to have a target.
Carnage, you have to pick a target because the idea is that you place the symbiote Pog next to the target. So if you pick a target that you can't otherwise attack because you can't place, then you just get to place the Pog without placing Carnage. I'm not sure if that was one of the ones that worked because it was like weird.
It is weird. Yeah, it's a big deal. I mean, if nothing changes, Surtur and Mangog just got a massive buff. Like,
yeah.
I mean, Iceman calling is just a thing that literally anything can call him.
Iceman calling is just like really good. But yeah, it's definitely a buff to him.
If only you could theme Surtur, or not, yeah, Surtur and Sentinel together, then you could just do like all the damage forever. Because that's what Sentinel can proc it 3 times because he can move, sidestep, and declare the retaliation, so you can do it the 3 pen to 1.
As long as you have the pen, yeah, or the blocking around him.
I mean, you do because you have the 0 ring.
True.
That's an assumption. So, but yeah.
And he can carry around his buddy Surtur now and do it.
Hey.
Because try Sentinel flies.
Yep.
Whee!
Ooh, that's fun.
So, I mean, I don't know. To me, it just is what it is. Like, play stuff with I don't know. Like, if I let you get your Mangog that close, I probably deserve it.
Yeah, but there are definitely times when Mangog just, like, you miss him. Well, maybe you don't. You're a uni player, so you don't miss anything.
Typically, no.
Yeah.
I
miss Mangog a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I have missed Mangog. No, you don't miss Mangog because you just call it Chamber next to him.
That's true now. I don't have to worry about it. Although there was an instance where I had to pick between Mangog and Q. And I picked Q to kill.
I don't know. No, that probably sounds right, generally.
Just because my team, I'm never hitting if they have a Q.
You're never. No. It's either you're never hitting and they have a Q.
Yeah. But Mangog, like, he can kill stuff, but his Q is just, I needed him dead, man. I hate that piece.
Q's really good.
He's really good.
Sorry, what was that?
Q's really good if you're not playing against anybody with a 150 point main force character. In which case, I just pulse wave you from outside of the ring and kill your Q.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in our game, if I just didn't move Q, it just doesn't happen.
Maybe.
I mean, Uni can perplex that range up quite a bit.
Right, but like if I'm in the starting area, like we were playing on a mock time, so if I'm like in the starting area or just behind a piece, the patch blocking, like I don't know, but yes, Q is able to be killed. If you couldn't pulse wave him, he would be insane. It would be even more insane.
Yeah. I mean,
Mojo.
Yeah, I mean, I've killed every Q that I've played against with pulse wave. It just has not been a problem. Like, the rest of the team's been a problem. Like, I've lost to a Q before. But Q himself wasn't a problem. Like, forcing me to go kill Q was not a problem.
Right.
No, but it's also, like, not a problem for them either, because no matter what, Q is almost certainly getting you his points worth.
Yeah,
like,
even
if you have a game where you are like, wow, I wish I used those 30 points better, and, like, something's wrong.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I'd agree with that. So, all right. Well, that's how them rulings work.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just go down our questions and talk a whole lot about Pauper.
Yeah.
So I think we all get to play in one event.
I'm playing one this weekend.
Yeah, mine is next weekend. I'm judging this weekend. So are you not judging, Jay?
No, I'm not judging Ontario.
And you can't make it to any of the other ones because Canada's huge?
Yeah.
There's like a 1% chance I can make it to New York State's on Saturday at WNY Gaming, which is a really good store. I would recommend anybody who can make it to that event does go. I had a great time at the States, the past States.
That was fun to watch. I watched that one on stream.
Oh boy, that was a game.
Is it in Rochester or Syracuse? I forget how close you are to that.
I don't know what municipality it is. It's just WNY Gaming or Or message Weston Steiner on Facebook if you. I'm not gonna give out incorrect information.
Yeah, no, you're fine. I'm with you. But so our first question comes from Giordano. He says, "Can I win with a WWE team plus flexing?"
I don't think you need the flexing.
So,
by definition, no, because Flex Mental is not legal in the format.
No, so there's either he either says right bicep flexing, but I also mentioned on the last podcast that the biggest thing in Pauper is flexing with your expensive neoprene maps. So, yes, I would say it is entirely possible that a WWE team on the King's Tomb could wreck face.
So you're telling me that I had to switch my team because the team that I have does not want to play on my King's Tomb blood map.
Correct.
That's what you're telling me. Damn it.
Yeah, possibly. What do you guys think about WWE and Pauper?
I'm playing a WWE figure as of right now, so there you go.
It's obviously good in Pauper. It's probably better in Pauper than in Modern, I would say. So.
Well, there is no more Modern. We're just talking Pauper.
Then yes, it is. There's good. I may have underestimated the set. There's good figures in there.
I think Eddie Guerrero, I feel like, is probably one of the standouts because everything he does, but also the fact that his dice manipulation, his prob is the closest that you get to dice manipulation in the format. Like, it makes Nimrod matchup better because if you roll, I don't know, if you roll a 6 and a 1 and you're like, oh, well, let's turn that 1 into another 6 or whatever, or hope to roll, that can help. Or if you're just playing against one-man army Juggernaut and he rolls a 1 and anything else, you're like, oh, well, let's try for another 1, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's pretty huge against one-man armies, dice manipulation.
Yeah. And I think it's probably, if you're playing a non-theme good stuff squad anyway, there's probably at least one wrestler who will do something your team wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree with that. I really like some of the WWE guys in the set, and for Pauper, I think some will make a splash in Modern, but that's just that's to be seen. I don't have any ideas. I'm just they'll be there at some point. They're flat rarity. Pick them. Everybody's asking what's the must-have WWE figures? And the answer is they're flat rarity, and there's I don't know, 10 of them. Just buy them all now.
How much are they all?
I think they're 8 MS. They're 16. They're 16 singles and the 2 starters. I think MSRP is 8 for the individuals.
Mm-hmm.
I can say right now, I'm literally looking at them. I personally bought the ring starter, and then because I wanted the ring and I wanted the map, and the singles I bought were Macho Man, Eddie, Big Show, Undertaker, Andre, Triple H, and Kane, just because they are either fun or they do something I like. And just the ring seemed necessary.
Yeah.
And the maps are interesting and very different. The fact that there's all the obscuring. So.
Yeah, I think the maps, you got to get both starters because of the ring and the maps. I think you had asked me, which one to get. And I'm like, well, you just get both starters because you want both maps.
But aren't the maps just kind of redundant to each other? Or really close, and it just feels like they're redundant.
Maybe. I don't know. Now you're making me question it.
The question is if they're on H2 maps.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
No. Well, they each have the one that has a lot of obscuring, and they each have one that is indoorsy. I remember looking at the one from the ring starter, and it just felt like this is an indoor map that doesn't have something particularly interesting right now. And I can't remember what the the non-obscuring one on the other one was, but
I mean that's fair. I'll give you that.
They both have good figures. I think they both have figures that you can't otherwise get. Like I think the Rock and Sock has Shawn Michaels. You can't otherwise get him, and Charlotte Flair in the mixed match.
Well, mixed match has Finn Balor.
That too, and the ring.
Yeah. So, and then
at a minimum, I think you have to buy the ring starter, especially because the ring is the only, or it's one of the few special terrains legal in Pauper, and I think it's by far the best.
Double agree.
Like, it feels wrong that you have to buy, like, that there's only like this one thing that it just feels like if you're not playing it, you're kind of at a disadvantage.
Wrong, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like the how the tank was when it released. Not that bad, but like the same concept. If you're not playing this, you're probably wrong.
Yeah.
I would definitely agree with that one. So let's see. Dean Ferguson writes in, should Pauper consider game elements based on price rather than rarity? Example, Bounty ID or LE, but are priced affordably.
It's too. I don't think you can do that reasonably.
So I actually have a technical answer for this one if you guys are interested.
Sure.
So, I deal with data in my job, right? I'm in networking, but I deal with data and analysis and statistics and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, if one person was so inclined, they could pull a list of all currently modern figures and run them against eBay sold averages. And then you can make Pauper based on, say, I don't know, $5 and less a figure.
Mm-hmm.
And then just include, WWE and starters. And then, yeah, so like Flexman Tallow would be able to be played in Pauper. But if no one's willing to make that commitment to developing an app and providing the data, then no, I don't think it's really that able to be done.
It's so inconsistent though, because like what you could play Raven from Rebirth, but not Shazam.
Right. Yeah. And yeah.
I think you have to regardless of what the raw numbers tell you, you have to make it accessible.
Well, and even like making that change would fluctuate the prices of things, right? Rares who weren't expensive before are now expensive because of that, So I don't think that would work really.
Well, maybe you set it for like a month. Like beginning of the month, here's your set for the month, or every 2 months or something.
Right. Yeah.
But then like, what if they get rid of Highlander and then that makes prices fluctuate?
Yeah.
But then it's illegal for Pauper, so then it goes back. It could be done, but I just feel like it's messy.
Somebody would need to invest a lot of time to make that.
Yeah, that's
even
not
slightly consistent. Yeah. So probably not.
Yeah. So, yeah. So I mean, technically, there's a way to do it and do it correctly, but it's not particularly likely.
More effort than it's worth, probably.
Yeah. Ryan Starr writes in, what elements do you think a top-tier Pauper team must include, i.e. based on available ID cards? Are they necessary? Is Outwit on the build necessary?
I don't know if we know if anything's necessary yet, just because we haven't really played it. I can't think of anything really that's necessary.
I would say the only thing that is necessary is one of the maps with no blocking.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
That's like number one. And then I think number two is outwit is more prevalent as a need, as being able to be used, right? So like in modern, would I say an outwit's necessary? You could probably get by.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams you can't outwit, so it's not really useful.
Right. But
yeah, like I think Isaac's team was all unoutwittable except for Groot.
Yeah, but even then, like, okay, he outwitted a Groot. Good job.
Right, exactly.
Right, I'm saying it was functionally all immune.
Right, yeah.
Right. So like outwit may not be, I wouldn't want to use the word necessary, but if it fits into your build, then yeah, absolutely include it.
Yeah, it's just, there's a lot of, like, against Juggernaut, outwit's not really, useful.
But the map is useful.
Yes, yeah, the map is very useful against Juggernaut. That is definitely, if you do not have an open map, you are wrong.
Right. So probably just real quick, let's just run down the maps with no blocking.
Galador Metal Arena.
Yeah, Galador and the Metal Arena. Those are two of the most accessible, but those also have elevated, which may be a problem for mobility on some teams.
Possibly.
But there's the wrestling ring maps. That don't have blocking.
ROC Strange Day at the Park is one, I think.
Yeah, so I'm just talking about I'm kind of going from most accessible to least accessible.
Okay.
So, I didn't say that, but you're fine. The wrestling ring, I think one of the wrestling starter maps doesn't have blocking on it.
I think both of the obscuring ones don't have it, but definitely I'm pretty sure the one with the ring has no blocking. I think the only terrain on that map is the obscuring.
Right, and then the wrestling ring buyable map from the ROC that was $15 doesn't have it. And then what's the sports arena, or what's the one that you always
settle it on the canvas?
No. What's the one at Tylor you always played?
Oh, Sporting Arena.
Sporting Arena. It has four squares of blocking, but that's kind of irrelevant.
Yeah, but they're so for Juggernaut it doesn't matter because they're all so far
right. And then you've got we talked about the Galador Promenade and the Metal Arena, and then you've got the Pal Farm, which my personal go-to map. And then Strange Day at the Park as well.
Yeah.
And then I guess even like so those are relatively accessible maps.
I mean, you can just buy Powell Family, right? Like on whatever website.
No, you can't buy the Powell Family Farm. It's a win.
Didn't know it was out.
Yeah, but I mean, there's like some other ones that like the Train Yard.
There are some that have very, very, very few, but
right,
literally zero.
Yeah, but if like Wolverine's able to get one or two times off, then you're probably in for a bad time.
Juggernaut.
Yeah, who did I say?
Wolverine.
Wolverine.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's from the Star Trek original series starter set, Forgotten Planet has literally only 2 pieces, so that is good enough.
Okay, so there's a few out there. There's more than I thought.
So, now the next question that we have is from Josh Essex.
Sorry. Well, I was just looking through the whole list. High Noon also has literally 2.
Yeah, I agree.
You agree with objective facts, nice.
Yeah.
So Josh Essex writing, what maps do you think are going to have the most impact on states? So the wide open ones, but then I think we've talked about that a couple times on the podcast, is it's really the closed up maps that are going to be a big deal. So like it's a ROC event, right? So you've got Ultimate Sacrifice that I think that you got Ultimate Sacrifice and Bifrost, which I think like every Onslaught team should play.
Plus the Skull map, unless you know.
Right, and then the Skull Camp map bonus. Now, what I would say is it's important to note that if you're playing Onslaught, you should play the Bifrost, especially if you face a blob.
Which Blob's pretty good in this format, honestly.
But he's not if you're playing Onslaught.
Well, on the Bifrost, sure.
So the interaction is that he's immobile. Let's see,
on
but
opponent's turns.
Well, hold on now. That may not actually be right.
No, it does work that way. I've already.
Yeah, he said it's immobile, but only if it's not your turn. Oh, so whenever.
But Bifrost is after resolutions.
Yeah, so whenever you mind control him, everything comes over, and then you mind control him into the Bifrost, he becomes immobile again, and then he just dies.
Yeah, it's
unintended synergy, but probably.
Which is why I don't think that maps should deal damage.
Oh, you're just so bitter about
No, I'm not.
What are you bitter about? Which one?
National Air.
No.
Oh gosh, I think we're past that now. Mini Shredder's not. I wasn't going to drive just to Ohio just to kill his Mini Shredder with 15 Floras.
No, PJ did it.
Wait, he did?
Yeah, I lost. Or he lost map to me, but I deferred to him just so he could do it once. He ended up, I think, winning that game, but it was really close. It wasn't just like a guaranteed win because he had to expose himself quite a bit.
So I mean, you got things like, Ultimate Sacrifice, Flashpoint Flood, even. Like,
yeah, that could be good.
If you just face a team that doesn't have mobility, that map's still ROC legal.
Avengers Tower. Good.
What?
Avengers Tower, just for a map bonus.
Yeah, I was gonna say Hang Island is legal for states, so.
Mm-hmm.
With the errata, right?
Be aware of the errata and be aware there's still squares on the map where they can place special terrain very advantageously.
Yeah, and then you've got things like, I mean, there's just a ton of good, like, I'm just gonna say anything with a map bonus.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fair.
Like, even the Batman one is good with, like, Gotham City or Batman family things. Then you got the Avengers Tower, Skull Camp, Wakanda Forever.
Yep. The one that's not actually that good is Seals. The Seals map. Just because there's not much you can, like, there's no items you can steal, so it's not. Well, there's not none, but it's much less effective.
Right.
The equipments in this environment feel like such an afterthought, and then you're like,
yeah.
But stuff is so aggro that, like, do you even have time to do it, really?
Well, I think the only object that's relevant is the Blood Axe.
Yes. That sounds right to me. Like, there's hammer and knob and mace and stuff. But...
No. It's literally just Asgardian Shield, because that was from a starter, and then knob, mace, and blood axes, they came with uncommons.
Okay. So
like random stuff like sword came with Flora, so that's not legal.
Is Flora not in that? What was the rarity on that?
So Super Booster is the rarity.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was having this argument with Chad, and I was like, okay, find me a Carnage for $10 or less. Like, I don't even think the bad Colossus from that set are in the theoretical price range anyway.
No, not really.
Like, day one Flora's at $7, sure, but not now when it's $60.
Yeah. God damn you, PJ.
So, I think, but to answer his question, right, I think maps are the most impactful thing on states and provincials.
The most impactful?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about most impactful.
Like, if you think about it, right, like, if you don't have accessibility to the right maps, you can just auto lose to the team that, like, so, like, let's just say your team doesn't do well versus Onslaught unless you get to go to closed up. So if you don't own a closed up map, you might just lose to Onslaught regardless of whether or not you win map. Like if you need something like Rock Underground or King's Tomb or Star Trek Underground, all three $25 plus maps, then you've got to own that rather expensive game element, I think, to do well.
That's true. So yeah,
if we're talking about price, I had to go to the store today, and I bought one WWE single, but if I had to buy my Eddie, it would have been, whatever, same amount. So I ended up paying, just converting this from Canadian to real money. I bought the one wrestler for my team. I bought Eddie. I bought another figure that was the same price as Eddie, and then because I bought Undertaker, but I bought essentially one figure for my team. I bought the starter that has the ring in it, which is only 75 points in my team, but it still costs $35. Like that's a lot for a format that's But yeah, the maps are a thing.
Yeah, it comes down to like map 1 is wide open. Because it's not full Juggernaut like everyone's saying, oh, is Juggernaut a big deal? Well, it's not full Juggernaut is the problem. It's the Juggernaut Amelia Magneto matchup that's the problem.
Or Juggernaut double Danger Room is also good.
Yeah. Well, Amelia gives him Mastermind and a Perplex.
Yeah.
And also, shouldn't he always have access to the take 2 tokens thing anyway?
Yeah. Yeah, that's really good. So,
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, so essentially if you try to double, you have to be able to like triple tap Juggernaut.
It's so annoying too.
Yeah. Because you hit her for 3 and then she regens.
Yeah, and she keeps the thing. Yeah.
So, it's pretty annoying. But so if you think about that, right? Like if you don't have a good map in your ownership, like you could have a bad day versus those teams. So it's like once you get beyond the wide open map, it's those intricacies within the other matchups that you have, say from matchups 2 through 6. Like if you go down, Avengers, Nimrod, Juggernaut, Robots, Sentinel, WWE, right? If you just go down the range of matchups, like you run into issues if you don't have the right map for the matchup.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right, which may not be such a problem in like full modern, because Cyclops shoots through things, Jean Grey flies around, Storm blows up blocking, Astronomer shoots over everything, whales bust through walls. You think about all those things I just said, but you don't get that in Pauper.
Yeah. Maybe I should play
for the most part, right?
Maybe we should play Brown Giganto Namor just to keep the consistency.
I can't. I will not. I would never advise you to play something bad, Tyler. I may not agree with what you go with, but I will never advise you to play something bad.
He can
it's
phase.
Not the worst figure they've ever printed.
This is not. He can phase and then attack. Dude, it's busted.
You know what? Do you know how much HC Realms doesn't care about Giganto?
I don't know.
They gave him his mass destruction trait.
Yeah.
Is his super strength when Hulk is given a move action. They don't even care to call him Giganto.
That was before my time.
I will not be taking responsibility for this.
So that's my kind of like thought on maps. So Andrew Krimpick, will WWE start to dominate Pauper? I have yet to see any of it in person. Watch the Nimrod video. So I've got so today is Tuesday. I should have the podcast up on Wednesday. I should have another video up tomorrow. So we recorded 5 videos on Sunday, and I've uploaded 2 of them. So I've got 3 matches incoming. And some of it includes some more WWE. But they can be outwitted, right? They just can't be targeted by range attacks on click 1.
No, they can't be outwitted, right? Isn't that part of it?
It's also the outwit thing, if I recall correctly.
I'm pretty sure.
I thought it was just the line of fire or the range attack thing, but I could be wrong. I don't have the pack in front of me right now.
Yeah, it's real good.
Yeah, it's really good. But the problem is that, and I was talking to the guys about this, is that in general, though, my problem with WWE is that they're really good against range, but they're not that great in close combat.
Really?
Defensively.
Oh, defense. Yeah. So
right.
They're probably weak to like the Avengers team. You're saying, basically.
Well, I mean, like Avengers or like, like I don't know, like a Juggernaut, right? Juggernaut's going to come punch him in the face for 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they on average don't have combat reflexes, super senses, or impervious or shape change. Like shape change just is not a thing in the set, not a thing in the.
Yeah, so they're basically just like they don't have any rollouts. They're like invulnerable down for the most part. I think Eddie has super senses.
Right, you've got a little bit of super senses.
Asuka has super senses. Macho Man starts with it. Yeah, it's a lot of toughness and vulnerability.
So, I mean, my thing is that they don't think they'll dominate.
No, I don't either.
So because they have the balance of being weak defensively in close combat. But I would say if you have a range-based team, plan on having a close combat option.
Mm-hmm. I don't think anything will dominate. Maybe not. I don't think it's because the format's like particularly like balanced. I think it's just because it's not solved yet. This is our first round, so people are going to test stuff. So I don't think anything will completely dominate. You know what I mean?
Right. So Scott Johnson says, please go into detail, or please go into what you think the top 3 game elements will be in the majority of builds for state. Specific figures, ID, maps, equipment, special terrain. Give real answers and not generic map, dice, action token, and figures.
Why do you have to add that? I don't think we would have done that.
I don't know. It's not really our thing.
So number 1 should be the ring, right? That's what I think.
I mean, I don't know if every team needs to play it, but like a lot of teams just want to if they can fit it in.
Yeah.
Like not playing it with Onslaught, I think, is a mistake because just the amount of terrain it clears up can just solve a lot of bad map issues, especially if you're going non-theme. But like obviously, if you're playing 300-point Juggernaut, you can't fit it in. It's like not literally every team is going to play it or a terrain.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm going to go ahead and just go ahead and incorporate Kurt's question here. Like, what are the main archetypes for ROC states, and what are the best map bonus choices for Pauper? And do you prefer the WWE ring or a map bonus? So like, if I had to choose like Skull Camp or WWE ring for Onslaught, like I'm going Skull Camp 100% of the time.
I don't know if I disagree in practice, but I would flexibly want to disagree. I don't know.
So it's -1 on all this stuff, or the prob, but it's not. It's a conditional prob, right? You have to be in the ring or outside of the ring.
Yeah.
Does the ring doesn't benefit them, right? It helps you.
Yeah, it's just friendly. I don't even care about the ring effect at all. I just care about the fact that it's a 5x5 special terrain ring thing.
You don't care about prob?
I mean, I do, but like the reason I put it on my team with Onslaught is because it can make certain, like if you lose map, and they pick a map that's just awful, you can like mitigate that a little bit more.
I never
But
really have
also,
an issue
obviously,
with
the
maps.
effect is good. Like it goes, but the effect, because it's close only, is not like if it was any attack. Obviously, sitting in the ring with a pseudo prob is good, but and the reroll doesn't feel that good because your defenses aren't high either. I don't know. Like it's obviously good, but
That's interesting. Yeah, I think I agree with Dan that it's the map bonus is probably better on that.
Yeah, I mean, everyone asks, for kind of some of these hard and specific rules when building a team, and I just really feel like there's not.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, it's just what you. It really a lot of it comes down to just personal preference. There's no
right. But what I would say,
also just even local meta can be a thing. I don't know. It's not easy to answer.
Right.
Like
what I would say is, map bonuses, right? Like I think Skull Camp and Iron Avengers are the top.
My bonus Skull Camp. Yeah, probably Iron Adventure.
Mm-hmm.
What's the other one?
I mean, there's a bunch.
The Wakanda,
the Super Sense, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but there's also and that comes down to these things like what are the main archetypes for states? I mean, you would never say you'd put the Joker and the Harley one on a Avengers build, but with the starter Joker and the whatever the Fast Forces Harley or whatever there is, that's a huge that's a must play map bonus.
Right.
You almost play that with the ring,
mm-hmm.
and that's your go-to. So it comes down to what fits best for your team. I think most of the archetypes for states will be theme teams.
Over 50%, I'd agree with that for sure.
Yeah, and I would even venture to say overwhelming majority.
I mean, depends what you classify as overwhelming majority.
75%.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be 75%. I'd say maybe like 60 would be my guess.
I think it differs between weekend 1 and weekend 2. Like, I feel like you're more likely to see the one-man armies weekend 1, but then they don't do well, so then weekend 2, then you get the 75%. So I can kind of agree with that.
Yeah. So I think that'd be the ranking of map bonuses. Special terrain, I think, is WWE ring, then Doom Buggy, then Shield Car.
Yeah, but nobody's playing Shield Car, right?
Yeah, but Shield Car is like a bottom 3, like way down there.
Yeah.
What does it do? It blows up when it's KO'd, and that's it.
I don't even think it has. I don't even know. Is it the one that rolls?
No, that's the start car.
Yeah, I think Dune Buggy just does the same thing until it dies, and then Shield Car has an explosion effect. Yeah, I don't know why you'd play Shield Car. It's not like it's any cheaper.
No, they're all 5 points. The Shield Car might actually be 10.
No, they are. I think the Star Car is the only one that's more than 5.
Oh. The special terrain on that one is the deal 3 damage. So it's the Deadpool jet.
Okay, yeah, that's it, right?
Yeah, that's probably bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not absolutely worthless.
No, but you'd play the other two, right?
Well, how hard is it to get to that click?
I don't know. They have to attack through it, right?
Yeah, I'm good. I think it's hard to get to.
I mean, I've had a terrain blow up twice.
Yeah, it's.
Or you just forget because, like, who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just happens. That's not even on units.
Yeah, it's there. It's under it. You have to type in terrain or something.
I'm not see it. I looked at terrain. I'm not seeing it.
No, well, yeah. But it's pretty far down there.
Right. My point. If it was easy to get to, like the Deadpool one, I think is on. The Deadpool one's on the first damage. So if it was the same for the other car, and it would be good in certain matchups, like dealing 3 damage like pings everything in this format, obviously. Or
yeah,
you do
but it's so hard to do.
A danger room construct.
Sure.
Yeah, but if a danger room construct is shooting through the shield car, then they're probably not doing it right.
I mean, or you're mind controlling them.
Yeah, that's true.
Blow himself up. Okay.
That's true.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the dial. I mean, obviously, I don't know where to find the dial, so whatever.
Yeah, so the next thing up would be IDs. I'm not even sure that IDs are an absolute requirement to play in this format.
I don't either.
They're not weak, but like they're just situational enough for like not.
They may be just like balanced IDs, so we're not used to them.
Balance. What do you
Like,
mean? You mean I don't have to put the RD on every team?
Like probably I won't even say must play, but like top ID is definitely like Sprite,
Jubilee,
Rusty, Leech, and then Sync.
I mean,
yeah.
You pretty much just named all the ones that are legal.
Well, that was my order. That was my order for them.
What about Artie? Come on, guys.
Who?
Honestly,
yeah.
I considered it because of Skull Map bonus. Like essentially 10 attack is not even the worst.
You considered Artie.
How
do you feel about that?
I know. Did you say Husk?
No. Did you mean to say Husk?
I think having the option of move and attack and then poofing with sidestep or barrier for 40 points is actually not bad at all.
I'm not gonna lie, I do not know what Husk does.
Yeah, so
She's got the Generation X.
Yeah, Generation X, Trader's Chamber, and then defense power, which is pick a defense power, and has sidestep. So you either have a charged character that can poof itself if you can roll breakaway, or you pick barrier. Like that's not bad.
Like
yeah, I guess that's true.
With 10
in this environment, that's not bad.
With 10 attack, 2 damage.
Yeah, but that might not be the worst.
I mean, using Danger Room Sabretooth, he can't call on he can't call in Jubilee, so.
He can call in Jubilee.
Yeah, starter set Jubilee.
He can call in starter set Jubilee.
Oh, I meant the right one.
Starter set's good.
I don't know. I feel like all the IDs have a team that they will work on, and I would honestly not fault somebody for playing already in the right situation.
I'm not using IDs just because I don't have all of them, and I don't care to buy them because I'm never using them again.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not playing them. I mean, I have them all, but I'm just not playing any. Just.
Oh man, Sync can pick WWE powers in the right situation.
Oh yeah, my god.
So can Nimrod.
I mean specifically because he's a call-in.
Dude, I want a submission hold onslaught with Nimrod. That sounds awesome.
Submission hold on a Juggernaut? That sounds fun.
Yeah.
That actually happened in practice tonight with Sam. Mankind submission holded Juggernaut, so I couldn't run.
No, that's too good.
That's my favorite sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like a WDBE figure putting Nimrod in a submission hold.
Yeah,
is
because
also
they can
hilarious.
say bigger size because there are no bigger sizes in WWE.
Yeah. You just submission hold them down. So I think that's what we've got for Scott and Kurt's question. Pauper Avengers versus Pauper WWE. Who wins?
Avengers, right?
I mean, yeah.
Really? Are you thinking about this?
Yeah, I mean, why?
Because they run up and punch him to death.
But they only punch him twice, and then they get like 3 Amigo'd in the face.
No, there's 3, right? There's Medusa, there's Hulk, and there's Crystal, yeah. I'm sure they have the Empower from something, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, if you carry up an AIM guy.
Yeah, they got perplexes.
But I don't think that they're only one-shotting maybe one of the guys.
They're not. I mean, with all 3 attacks, they're killing something, right?
One thing, and then like Eddie Guerrero triple flurries them to death.
Well, then they would probably focus Eddie Guerrero, right?
But then the Undertaker like tombstones Crystal to hell.
I don't know what those words mean.
There's no Hulk Hogan, but you can submission hold to Hulk.
Ha! Good one.
Wow.
Yeah, I just think that once they run up and kill something, they're just winning at that point. Like they're ahead, you know.
I'm kind of off the Avengers
Is WWE theme a thing in this format? I don't see it.
Like WWE theme?
Yeah, or I mean, I guess the question was vague, but
yeah, it's absolutely a thing. I think.
I guess the grand entrance makes up enough for the no taxi or limited mobility.
Oh yeah, grand entrance is legitimately crazy good.
Yeah, I am playing around with based around that mechanic alone.
Yeah, I mean, so like if you play
Macho Man.
Well, no, I mean you can turn 1 if they broke first turn immunity. You can have a WWE figure throw a light at their starting area with grand entrance and onslaught.
I think the math is just I think with grand entrance and onslaught you can get a Lockheed energy explosion into the starting area. I believe.
Yeah.
I don't even think you need onslaught to do that, right?
Yeah, you do, because you can grand, and depending on what WWE figure they have, I think 10's the furthest one can go.
Well, one of them has like sidestep and
no, Macho Man can go 11 because he can +2 his own speed.
Yeah, so 1, 2, so 11 puts you from 2 to 13.
Calling in 14.
Then you call in 14, and then you sidestep, then you call out Tweedledee, and then the energy explode the starting area. Yeah, I guess the thing.
Or you just blow up whatever equipment they have because you can pick it up with an object attack. Unless you're playing Blood Axe, but I don't know.
Or are those equip any?
No, I'm saying you use Lockheed to just blow up their Guardian Shield, or
well, Lockheed only has 1 damage, so you'd have to double perplex her damage.
No. I'm saying pick up. You have enough swing
to
pick it up with the running shot and do the range object attack.
Oh.
Like if they're playing as Guardian Shield, you just go up on points turn
1. You can just do that without.
Yeah, that's the thing that you can do now, which makes total sense. Or if my tactic is going to be you just grand entrance, do a call in, and then get TK'd back or TK'd back. Good old Tom Kerr style strategy.
All right, guys. Here's the thing.
Okay.
Like, and this is why I'm laughing. Like, you're just sitting in your starting area, right? And it's turn 1, and a little tiny dragon picks up your shield and just throws it off the map.
Yeah.
Like, that's gotta suck.
Yeah.
Oh,
or
I didn't
Macho Man. What's Macho Man's swing? It's 11, becomes 7. No, I think Macho Man also has full map swing because he +2s his own speed, moves 11, and then he can do his charge of 7, and then he can do his 3 square movement thingy. If you can get an action, or the first turn that you can do a signature move because you'll have an action token. Because I don't think there's a way to get a theme prop on turn 1.
Yeah, probably not. Oh, that's just hilarious. Like, you're just sitting there and nothing has happened yet. The battle hasn't started, and a bird just comes by and throws your shield off the map.
Yeah.
And then it just stays there, and it's just flapping like, "Ooh, look at me! Ooh!"
Oh.
I hadn't even thought about that yet. That makes
Lockheed's probably pretty relevant in the Avengers matchup in general. So being able to just do it for the starting area is a good thing.
Does Avengers use Blood Axe? Just for the Battle Fury?
Yeah, typically, I mean, I was giving Wolverine the Blood Axe.
Oh, on Avengers? Which Wolverine do you have?
The Regenesis and the Beast in the same set has it, I think.
Does it make the team, though?
It can. I haven't really been feeling it that much now that I've started playing Onslaught again.
Onslaught's the truth. Yeah. What question were we on?
We are now on Matthew. We answered Matthew Groenhide's question. Matt Donham, something about how sweet is it going to be when I drop the flying atomic something. He's going to beat Scott Johnson, something.
Probably fun. I like just to say obviously I'm not a wrestling fan, but just, they fit. It just there's a lot of funny stuff that happens, and I'm a big fan of it all.
Yeah, I agree. Now I'm thinking about just how much a little bird just throwing Asgardian shields off of a map.
Yeah. I think we have the episode name at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, go bird, throw the map, throw the shield off the map. Floop, 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 floop.
Yeah.
Oh man. So Jordan Ray Gardner, do you think Pauper is an effective format for introducing new players to the competitive aspect of the game?
Man, I'm just trying to think. Maybe. I feel like the competitive is just so much different. I don't know how effective it'll be at that.
It's probably, at this point, probably a good starting point because there's not stuff happening right now. And then you can gradually get them into full modern by the time we have full modern. So it's a very conditional yes for me.
I just don't think it helps get to modern because none of these. Modern's just so different than this, right? Because the main things with modern are ID cards and retails right now, right? And neither of those are a thing on this.
That's not true. There's enough retail to matter in this format, probably.
What?
Yeah, you've got blue.
Girl? You got two giant girls. You've got Rachel. You've got Proteus, Tazza. I don't know what he
forgot about Rachel.
Huh?
I forgot about Rachel.
And you've got Jakar.
Don't underestimate Jakar.
I think I'm fully estimating Jakar.
Wait a minute. Why would you underestimate Jakar?
I'm not underestimating him.
He's got a 19 defense with shape change, and you're given 2 action tokens and placed.
All of that is true.
Like, if you get wrecked, if your onslaught gets wrecked by Jakar.
Yeah, it's not incapacitate, right? So you can still do it.
Yeah, you just gain a token. Yeah.
So the next half of this question is, if you were to create your own ideas to introduce people into the game, how would you do it?
Oh man.
So the way that what I think about this is like as far as like playing a fun game, like you can just play with like a dumbed down set of the rules. Like Hulk smash Superman, let's have fun and roll dice. Like that's pretty.
Yeah, you don't have to introduce them to everything right away.
Right. But now if you're talking about how to introduce people into competitive, gosh, that's like it's like the question is it's like one of the things that I look at when we've added people to the team. It's like, do you have a desire and willingness to put in the work to play competitively? Because it's a lot of work to play at a competitive level.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
I mean, you have to be good at forecasting and planning out your opponent's next turn and what they can do and what they can reach, what you can reach, and what's good pieces and obtaining good pieces for the most part. And even forecasting and predicting the meta, right? Like, I think anything that's been good, I've almost been one of the first people to play it ever before ABPI, before Theo came along.
You didn't play Wales.
Well, I did play Shredders.
That's true.
So.
Did you ever play One Man Army Unimind?
That is not good.
Hey, I have
Tell
to
that
disagree.
Tyler, you're losing to bad teams. What's going on?
Yeah, I am.
But no, like, so, but like in general, right? It's like you're either kind of behind the curve or ahead of the curve. Like, so Easton and I played Lila Cheney the first event she was legal, so that you could play Magneto Samcap. And Easton won that event, and I got top 4.
Oh, I played that. I played it with something else, though.
Yeah, and then,
but
that was like
weekend.
Yeah, that was like the first weekend it was available, right? So I mean, like, you were there, right? You got to be like ahead of the curve and inventing the curve. I think to stay at like, say, the top 20% of competitive play.
Yeah, competitive is obviously different.
Yeah.
Just to get somebody into the game, I don't even know. I've had my brother like played with me before, and he had a good time. We just played basic HeroClix. I gave him like, this is title Loki. I'm playing title Thor. You playing, and it was just cool.
Yeah, like you don't do special powers. You just Hulk smash Superman. Let's have fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, that is all. And then, so we've talked about this quite a bit, Jordan. Do you think 300-point Juggernaut has actual meta potential in Pauper, or do you think he's overrated?
300-point Juggernaut. I mean, he's got potential. He's gonna win some games.
Yeah, I mean, this is the problem that I run into with answering this sort of question, is that everyone said, "Oh no, there's no problem. There's no issue with 300-point Juggernaut." But if you're not prepared for 300 Juggernaut, you'll probably lose to 300-point Juggernaut. Or if like you don't have a plan for losing map to 300-point Juggernaut, then you probably lose to it.
If you lose map.
Yeah, I mean, because that is a possibility, right? I mean, there's no like plus 10 theme teams in this.
Most is probably like Avengers 6 or something.
Yeah. So I mean, it is statistically possible to lose map to a 300-point Juggernaut. So it is overrated and it's not, right? But you've got to prepare for it. Like, you've got to prepare for, Kobik Trader, and you've got to prepare for full uni, and, like at these larger events, you've just got to prepare for things, right? You may not face it, but you've got to be ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, well, is there anything else you guys want to talk about today?
No.
Okay. Jay, what else you got?
I mean, did you talk about the dial card thing?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you know what? We didn't. You can look at the back of your opponent's card. It states.
Does anybody here not think it's not a big deal?
Not think it's not a big deal.
Does anybody here think it is a big deal? Because I don't think it matters at all. If I recall correctly, I don't think Dan cared.
No. I don't care because now I don't have to memorize dials.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think that memorizing dials was one of my strongest, like, I don't know, assets or whatever you want to say, and I don't care. Like, I think it does slightly even the playing field because people who are new, it gives them a sort of an edge up. But honestly, and I don't mean to sound insulting, but they're not going to read it because it's the same thing as asking for judges. People don't ask for judges when they don't understand stuff, so they're not going to ask for the card. And I'm begging people to ask a judge. Just do it. So if you're unsure, look at the card. Just do it. RTX.
Yeah, people, like, if I have like weird special powers and I offer my opponent my cards, like, I will more often see them not take the cards and then be like, wait, what? They do what? I'm like, oh, you could have looked at the card.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's just going to happen more. Or people are just going to not look on principle because that's how some people are.
Yeah.
Or...
I mean, I've gotten to the point where I just tell, like, at every game at ROC CUP, when I was playing a starter, I was like, are you aware of this ruling? And then they'll say no, and then I'll explain it, and then they won't believe me, and I'll call a judge. That happened like 2 or 3 times. Like, just because I know, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, so I think the thing is we hadn't had a podcast talking about that ruling, so given that the goal of Clickstuff is to have no surprises. But you know what, and I get, and so I get the other, I do get the other side, where it's like, I want to surprise them with a big Hulk click. Like, oh, you hit Hulk onto his 13 attack, 6 damage. Like, that's fun. I mean, I get it. That's fun, right? And if that's fun for you, then play that at your local store that way. Or play that at your house that way. Nobody's stopping you. You know, like
competitive. Except for the fact that you don't have to memorize dials anymore.
Right,
so
but you do. Yeah. I mean, you still do, right? You still have to memorize dials because you're still having to come up with strategies versus those pieces.
Yeah.
So you are and you aren't. But so then it comes down to, does this affect casual? And like, literally nothing rules-wise affects casual.
Yeah, because just because you can make up the rules in casual, right?
Right, you can do what you want. Like, I've seen, like before, like I remember several years ago, before the Squadron Supreme ATA was a thing, and they still had like 2 or 3 of those guys out. Like, the judge at the venue I'd played at the time, that's no longer a thing, would say, "Oh, you can play the Squadron Supreme guys together."
Yeah, just because it makes sense.
Because it makes sense, right? And then it's like,
okay. House rules are fine for this situation, or just don't. You don't have to do it. Like, yeah, it might suck if your opponent does it to you, but nobody has to look at their opponent's card ever.
Right, exactly. So,
I will agree with Nate White or other fringy people that like it affects playing fringe pieces slightly.
See, I don't even agree with that. I think it affects. Well, I think it would affect him playing bad people. Like, not bad, but like not the top people. You know what I mean?
I mean, it does matter. Like, no, I mean, like, I don't know if he shows up to the first event with Nightshade. Like, people don't know how long her dial is. Like, that is a problem. That is a thing that you do not have anymore, sort of thing.
Yeah,
like,
I guess.
Even if you know what she does, if Dan doesn't know if she's 5 or 6 clicks, it's it's still a thing. Or that was.
But I mean, the thing is, if I don't know if she's 5 or 6, like, I'm just going to go ahead and sink 6 into her and see what happens.
Right, but that could be strategically disadvantageous. So.
Yeah.
But my point is, it affects fringe pieces and like fringy strategies like 1%. So that is a valid complaint.
Yeah. The only argument that I've heard that I actually like is what Scott said. It's just that Scott Crampton on his podcast said it's just different game basically. I mean, like, the combat dial was originally supposed to hide from your opponent, but I don't even think that that's true because it's all been public information. It's just like you can memorize it or not.
Less hidden information. Like, I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know. I didn't like hidden information of like face down cards or whatever. Like, I like the fact that the only hidden information, even before this, was essentially like the dice rolls or what dice were going to be rolled, sort of thing. Like, I wouldn't say I like the game more because of it, but it's more in line with what I like about the game.
Okay, that makes sense.
I still don't think it affects competitive necessarily. So
not to any great degree.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm with you. I mean, you know what? If they change their mind and go back against it, then I'm fine with that too. I mean, it just, to me, it's, they're coming out with more board game stuff. They're trying to get into more segments of the market. So while I do have an opinion, right, like in general, like, I mean, if my opinion would matter, like in some matters, in some things, like, but my opinion overall is that I want HeroClix to survive. So if they think that they can make this decision to help them get into more markets and more people's homes, then I'm okay with that. So, let's round out with final thoughts. Jay?
I didn't really have any.
All right.
Boo.
Boo. Tyler?
I'm just gonna stick with Onslaught's good. Onslaught's really good.
Yeah.
He just is.
Brother, well, let me tell you something. When that Onslaught gets Mr. Sacco in his mouth, what's he gonna do?
Man, that's something. That is a thing now.
Yep. And that's totally a terrible combination of wrestler promos. Thanks for listening to Clickstuff today. We'll talk to y'all next time.
See ya.